Listen to this with your heart wide open. You are not behind. You are not cursed. You are not waiting on a miracle. You are waiting on yourself, and that wait ends now. Every minute you hesitate becomes a brick in the wall between you and the life you keep seeing in your head. So tear it down today and step through, because time is not a river carrying you away. It is a blade in your hand, and the longer you refuse to swing it, the duller your future becomes. Stop searching for perfect moods, perfect plans, perfect blessings. Perfection is the excuse of the comfortable. Action is the anthem of the hungry. You say you want respect, freedom, power, peace. Then pay the price in hours, sweat, and ruthless choices. No one is coming to save you, but that is good news, because it means no one can stop you. Turn your pain into discipline, your fear into focus, your doubts into data. Cut the noise, cancel the pity party, light the fire and move. Walk if you must, crawl if you must, but move. Stack days, not dreams. Build routines, not reasons. The clock is ticking in your favor when you treat it like a weapon. Stop waiting. Strike now. Strike again, and don't stop until your reality apologizes to your ambition. What if the moment you've been waiting for is already here, disguised as imperfect time, daring you to step first and become ready second? Start before you feel ready, because hesitation breeds friction, and friction kills momentum long before talent ever gets a chance to breathe. When you move now and iterate in public, you harness the single most reliable engine of growth: immediate feedback, fast refinement, and compounding confidence. Begin with the end in mind, pick a direction, then build the road beneath your feet, one decisive step at a time. Hook your own attention the way you would an audience. Set a 5-minute starting ritual. Count down from 5, and cross the start line before your doubts can vote. Perfection is a sedative. Momentum is a stimulant. Choose the one that wakes you up and points you toward your outcome. Use the problem-solution frame on your life. Define a single bottleneck you can influence today. Attack it with one action, and review the outcome tonight to set tomorrow's move. This is professional execution, not reckless chaos. It's disciplined iteration, small controlled tests, and rapid learning cycles that keep you honest and on pace. Write your aim in one sentence, speak it aloud, and let every block on your calendar answer whether it serves that aim or gets deleted. You don't need more time. You need a tighter loop. Act, observe, adjust, repeat. Deliver your day like a keynote, strong open, clear through line, vivid stories of progress, and a closing decision that tells you what happens next. Speak to yourself with the energy you'd use on stage. Pace your internal dialogue. Keep your tone decisive, and refuse to let anxiety rush your tempo. If fear is loud, make action louder by shrinking the task until it's easier to do than to avoid. Use a ton of minute strike. Start the draft, start the workout, start the outreach, and win the first rep so the rest becomes inevitable. Ruthlessly edit your plan after the first pass. Keep what worked, cut what didn't, and sharpen the next move. Stories beat theories, so document small wins and setbacks as the narrative proof that you are becoming the person who finishes. Guard your environment like a pro. Remove one distraction, add one constraint, and protect golden hours for your hardest work. Turn deadlines into lifelines by publicly committing to deliverables and letting accountability force your focus. Every day is one scene, not the whole film, so ship a draft, gather reactions, and upgrade your next scene with what the audience actually felt. When you stumble, tighten the loop, not your jaw. Adjust the tactic, not the mission, and move again within the same hour. The finisher's secret is simple and transferable. Start ugly, refine quickly, and keep promises to yourself in units of time, not moods. If you're waiting for certainty, here it is. Your next 5 minutes decide your trajectory. So step, speak, and stake a claim on the future you refuse to postpone. Reverse engineer tomorrow by writing the one outcome you will create and the first micro action you will take before the world wakes up. Use language that paints pictures your brain can chase. Verbs that command, nouns that anchor, metaphors that ignite, because clarity accelerates courage. When attention drifts, interrupt yourself with a bold question. What single move would make everything else easier or unnecessary right now? Iterate your identity with each rep by saying out loud who you are and proving it with what you do in the next block of time. Close your day like a pro speaker closes a talk. Recap the win, extract one lesson, lock one commitment, and set the stage lights for tomorrow's opening line. Do not wait to feel inspired. Manufacture momentum by stacking tiny, timed, trackable actions that compound into mastery far faster than perfect plans gathering dust. Start now, refine fast, repeat relentlessly, and let your results become the loudest story in any room you enter. If your life depends on how you feel, you're already losing. If it depends on what you do at the same time every day, you're already winning. Motivation is a spark and it burns bright, but discipline is the engine and it pulls the weight whether the road is pretty or not. Ask yourself right now, do you want results or reasons? Because you won't have room for both on your calendar. Discipline over motivation means your actions run on schedule, not emotion, so your output is consistent even when your mood isn't. The rule is simple: moods fluctuate, routines compound, and compounding beats intensity when the goal is long-term dominance. Imagine a day structured like a contract. Time blocks for deep work, recovery, and training, signed every morning with your signature and enforced by your standards, not your feelings. Motivation asks for inspiration. Discipline installs systems that work even on the worst Tuesday of your year. Hook your brain with trigger: same desk, same playlist, same pray-work ritual, because predictability lowers friction, and friction is the silent killer of momentum. The pros don't negotiate with the pillow, the phone, or the weather. They show up because the showing up is the brand and the result is the byproduct. Build a fixed routine like armor, wake time, work windows, training block, sleep window, and protect it as if breaking it costs money, because it does. It taxes your focus and your future. If you keep waiting to feel ready, you will outsource your destiny to a chemical lottery. If you act on schedule, you own the outcome regardless of dopamine levels. Here's a clean framework: decide once, execute daily, review weekly. Decide the standard, run the play, then upgrade the playbook based on evidence, not emotions. The calendar is your court order. When the block says write, you write. When it says build, you build. When it says rest, you rest with discipline, so recovery compounds too. Use environmental control as force multipliers, block distractions, set app limits, remove optionality, and let the path of least resistance lead straight into the work. Think in boring wins: 90 minutes on, 15 off. Repeat 3 non-negotiable tasks shipped before noon. 1 hour of physical training daily. Boredom is where excellence grows roots. Want a hook you can't ignore? If it's not on the calendar, it's not real. And if it's on the calendar, it happens whether you smile or not. Track consistency, not drama. 5 checkboxes every day beats a mythical perfect day that never arrives. Make your identity measurable. I'm the person who delivers by 11 a.m. and then deliver by 11 a.m. until your brain believes you and your network expects you. Discipline is compassionate because it removes the daily debate that exhausts you before you even begin. Motivation will get you to the door. Discipline gets you through the door, sits you down, and keeps you there until the job is finished. On low days, shrink the task until doing it is easier than avoiding it. 2 minutes starts the rep, and the rep unlocks the next block. Make accountability public, promise outputs, not intentions, and let the pressure clean your focus like fire cleans steel. Data doesn't lie. Teams and individuals with stronger routines and work discipline outperform because consistency compounds and inconsistency corrodes. Studies across industries show that discipline and motivation together drive productivity, but discipline is the lever you can pull reliably every day. Here's another hook: emotions are weather, standards are climate. Build your climate so any storm becomes just another rainy day at the office. Reward the behavior, not the feeling. Check the box, log the set, ship the draft, and let the scorecard be your source of pride when enthusiasm is silent. Train like a professional in any domain: fixed schedule, gradual overload, and no 0 days, because 0 breaks momentum and momentum is your invisible advantage. Replace "I don't feel like it" with "what's the next block?" and watch how quickly your life stops swinging between extremes and starts rising in a straight line. The final hook is the most practical: set tomorrow's first action. Before you sleep, lay out the tools, kill the friction, and when the alarm rings, you don't think, you execute. You can't ignore the clock is not your enemy, it's your coach. When you make it bark orders in your calendar, your life obeys. Weaponize time by scheduling aggressively, because anything that isn't on your calendar is make-believe. If it matters, it gets a block, and if it gets a block, it gets done. Start with a ruthless audit write-down where every 30 minutes goes for 7 days and expose the leaks. Mindless scrolling, unplanned chats, wandering tasks, context switching. If it steals minutes, it steals outcomes. Next, assign every priority a time and an address time blocking with purpose. Lock 90-minute deep work sprints for your highest value tasks. 15-minute buffers as shock absorbers and short admin bursts so the small stuff stops colonizing your day. Compress tasks with deadlines that bite. Parkinson's law inflates work to fill the container, shrink the container, and the work gets lean and fast. Batch similar work to slaughter context switching, which torches focus and doubles recovery time. Emails twice a day only, meetings stacked back to back. Creative task protected when your brain is sharpest. Use the 80-20 lens, identify the 20% of activities that create 80% of results and give them prime time. Everything else earns leftovers. Use urgency and importance deliberately, quick wins early to build momentum. Mission-critical blocks guarded with airplane mode intensity. And non-urgent, non-important items either delegated or deleted. Set not meeting zones and treat them like legal contracts. You're not being difficult, you're being effective. Install friction against distraction, notifications off by default, social media behind blockers, phone in another room during deep work, open tabs limited to the task at hand. Give every meeting a purpose, an agenda, and an exit time. If it lacks one, it's a memo. Engineer your environment to make good choices automatic, same desk, same tools, same playlist, same start ritual. Predictability is a cheat code for focus. Plan tomorrow before you power down today. Define the first action, lay out the tools, and make the path of least resistance lead straight into momentum. Track the truth, not the drama. Did you protect your blocks? Did you ship deliverables? Did you stay within your schedule? Score your day in 3 lines and adjust your next move based on data, not mood. Guard your golden hours like a vault. If you are sharpest at 9 a.m., that's when you write code, sell, or design. Never trade peak cognition for shallow tasks. Turn deadlines into lifelines by making commitments public and visible. Accountability is gravity for your focus. Remember that rest is part of the weaponry. Schedule recovery and sleep as aggressively as work so that your output tomorrow doesn't pay for today's bravado. Build weekly reviews that are brutally honest. What produced outsized returns? What was noise? What will you cut? What will you double? Translate goals into blocks, blocks into reps, reps into results. Here's another hook. If you don't run your hours will run you, and hours that run you never take you anywhere you want to go. Replace "I'll find time" with "I've made time," and watch how your calendar becomes a mirror that reflects a professional, not a procrastinator. Time is your weapon only when you grip it. Schedule hard, audit harder, eliminate leaks without apology, and let your calendar tell the story your ambition keeps trying to write. Comfort is the quiet assassin of potential, and the fastest way to get everything you want is to walk straight into what you've been avoiding and refuse to flinch. Choosing the hard path is not self-punishment, it's accelerated learning. Pressure is the teacher, and discomfort is the tuition you pay to sit in the front row of your own transformation. The easy choice is a short-term handshake with pleasure that leaves long-term interest rates on your regret. The hard choice is a short-term negotiation with pain that pays you back for decades. Ask yourself right now, where do you feel the most resistance? Making the call, shipping the draft, stepping into the gym, speaking the truth. And what would happen if you did that first, every single day for 90 days? Hard as a compass, not a wall. The direction that tightens your chest is the direction that expands your capacity. And capacity is the only currency that never devalues. Make discomfort measurable and deliberate. Pick one non-negotiable each morning that scares you. Time box it for 60-90 minutes and move before your mind manufactures excuses. Use progressive overload beyond the gym, slightly harder conversations, slightly bigger bets, slightly tighter deadlines, because growth is the compound interest of controlled stress. When fear speaks, translate it into protocols, not paralysis. Break the task into a first brick, set a timer, eliminate optionality, and start the rep. Momentum is the anesthesia that makes pain disappear. Another hook: failure is feedback running at full volume. So court it intelligently. Small experiments, fast iterations, and brutal honesty in your reviews. Because what you measure you can master, and what you avoid owns you. Build a personal doctrine. Hardest task first, hardest truth spoken plainly, hardest habit protected by routine, and hardest standard enforced without apology. Your standards are the fence that keep weakness out and progress in. Train your nervous system to stop negotiating with discomfort. Cold exposure, early alarms, hard workouts. Not for the theatrics, but for the transferability. If you can choose stress on purpose, you won't fold when life serves it to you without consent. Treat friction as data. Where you procrastinate reveals where you need systems. Where you hesitate reveals where you need exposure. And where you complain reveals where you need ownership. The hard path shortens the distance between who you are and who you say you want to be because it removes the detours. No performative planning, no waiting for inspiration, no bargaining with moods. Make it professional, define the outcome, identify the obstacle, choose the difficult action that dissolves the obstacle, and schedule it like a client meeting with 0 cancellations. Stack identity proof with daily receipts, 3 hard wins log before noon, and let those receipts rewrite your self-image from someone who tries to someone who delivers. Pain becomes wisdom when you refuse to waste it. Write the lesson, codify the rule, upgrade the system, and attack again. Repetition turns discomfort into competence and competence into confidence. Here's the next hook. The path of least resistance leads to places you don't respect, while the path of most resistance leads to a person you cannot ignore. When your mind screams to stop, negotiate in reps, not feelings. 5 more calls, 10 more minutes, 1 more paragraph. Because the last mile is always empty, and that's where reputations are built. Surround yourself with standards that make the hard path normal. People who do not flinch at effort, environments that reward shipping over talking, and routines that make your best behavior automatic. You don't need it to be easier, you need to be stronger, and strength is forged, not found. Heat, pressure, and repetition again and again until the hard thing becomes the expected thing. The final hook you'll remember: when it hurts, choose the hill that scares you in the morning. And by nightfall, it will be the hill you own. You can't ignore. You don't have a focus problem. You have an environment that profits from your attention being scattered. So seize the controls and make your surroundings obey your standards. Build a fortress around your priorities. Clear desk, single screen, tasky, specific tools laid out the night before. Because clarity outside creates conviction inside. Another hook: if your phone can reach you, your work can't. Park it in another room. Kill notifications by default. Whitelist only mission-critical contacts, and make distraction a decision, not an accident. Turn your browser into a workbench, not a carnival. No infinite feeds, only the tabs your current block requires, with blockers making the worst choices impossible during peak hours. Treat your calendar like a courtroom schedule, non-negotiable, deep work blocks, stacked meetings, defined recovery, and the discipline to say no to anything that does not serve the case you're building. Elevate your inputs, upgrade what you see, hear, and discuss. Educational audio during commutes, quality reads cued, screens curated, because diet isn't just food, it's information. Install friction where you're weak in speed, where you're strong hide snacks. Move streaming off your work devices, auto-launch your project file at startup, lay out gym gear by the door, and make the best action the easiest action. Another hook: standards are contagious. Curate your circle to people who ship, train, and learn. Proximity to excellence makes excuses embarrassing. Build visible scoreboards for your key metrics. Hours of deep work, reps shipped, outreach sent. So progress speaks louder than feelings, and your environment reminds you who you are. Design zones with intent: 1 chair for thinking, 1 for producing, 1 for resting. Never let the bed become an office or the office become a lounge. Keep tools within arm's reach and temptations out of sight. The extra steps you add to bad habits and remove from good habits will reshape your day without willpower theatrics. Use lighting, temperature, and sound deliberately. Bright and cool for execution, warm and dim for wind down, instrumental or white noise to mask chatter. Because physiology is an ally when you program it. Another hook: accountability beats motivation. Set public commitments, send deliverables to real people, and let positive pressure do what pep talks won't. Codify rules that protect performance. No meetings in deep work windows, no social media before lunch, no email first hour, no late night doom scrolling. Rules remove debate, and debate drains energy. Align your household and team. Shared quiet hours, door signals, posted schedules, so collaboration doesn't collide with concentration. Audit your environment weekly. What stole time? What spark flow, what needs to be removed, repaired, or reinforced? Environments drift toward chaos unless you steer. Maintain redundancy for the essentials. Chargers, pens, batteries, backups. So small breaks don't become big derails. Keep your goals visible and precise. Printed outcomes, start line triggers, if-then cues. So your space talks you into action all day long. Another hook if you want elite results, make it awkward to behave below your standards, clear the junk apps, unfollow noise, password protect vices with an accountability partner, and funnel your default clicks toward creation. Protect sleep like it's equity blackout curtains, cool room, consistent cutoff for screens, and a hard landing routine so tomorrow's output doesn't pay for tonight's indiscipline. Refresh your workspace with small wins. Wipe surfaces, reset tools, prime the next task before you leave, because a ready room builds a ready mind. Finally, engineer rewards that reinforce identity. Check the box, log the rep, bank the streak, and let the environment applaud the behavior you want repeated. Control your environment, and you won't need to trust your moods. You'll trust your systems, and your systems will make winning feel like the natural thing to do. So here's your choice: die with your dreams, still whispering what if, or live so loud that regret never gets a chance to speak. The clock is ticking, the weapon is loaded, and the only question left is whether you pull the trigger today or watch someone else claim the life you were too afraid to fight for.